All right, today we're going to talk about something super important, the critical difference between two words that get mixed up all the time in relationships: privacy and secrecy. One of them actually builds connection, while the other, it can quietly tear everything apart. Let's figure out which is which. So let's start with a phrase we've all probably heard, or maybe even said ourselves. It's a classic, and it's probably ended more relationships than we can count. I just like my privacy. And you know what? On the surface, it absolutely does, doesn't it? It sounds perfectly fine, like a healthy boundary coming from a totally well-adjusted person. Yeah, it even sounds mature. It kind of suggests, hey, I value my own space, my own individuality, and those are all good things, right? But then something shifts, and all of a sudden, that same exact phrase doesn't sound reasonable at all. Because somewhere in that murky gray area, a line gets crossed, and trust just starts to, well, evaporate. So let's get really clear and define our terms here. And this is a really big deal because understanding why one of these builds intimacy and the other one just completely demolishes it, well, that's everything in a close relationship. Okay, look at this. The real difference here, the key, is the motivation behind it all. Privacy is about choice. It's about you deciding what to share, about protecting your own inner world without any fear. But secrecy? Oh, that's totally different. It is driven by fear. It's about hiding something to avoid a bad outcome, trying to control how someone sees you, and, importantly, protecting a specific behavior. And if you want to boil it all down, this is it, right here. Privacy says, this is mine. It's an act of personal ownership, like, this piece of me belongs to me. But secrecy, it says, I don't want you to know. It's an act of exclusion. It's intentionally putting up a wall. Huge difference. So let's put this into practice, because a lot of the time the action itself can look exactly the same. It's the intention, the why underneath, that changes absolutely everything. Okay, first up, imagine you're in a new relationship and you just don't feel the need to give a minute-by-minute recap of your last one. So what do you think? Privacy or secrecy? Yep, that's privacy. See, the key thing is your motivation. You're not hiding something because you're scared of what they'll think. You're just choosing what's relevant and what you feel comfortable sharing. It's your story, and you get to decide how to tell it. All right, what about this one? Your partner casually picks up your phone, maybe just to see what time it is, and this wave of pure panic just washes over you. You snatch it back. What's that about? That's secrecy. The action itself is tiny, right? But that emotional reaction, that sudden panic, that tells you everything you need to know. You are actively hiding information because you are terrified of the consequences if it gets out. And this is where we get to the really damaging stuff. Secrecy almost never destroys a relationship in some big, dramatic explosion. No, it's way quieter than that. It's more like a slow, steady erosion of trust that just eats away at things over time. And you can literally feel the difference in your own body. I mean, think about it. Privacy feels calm. It's grounded. It feels safe. It's just a neutral state. But secrecy, that feels tense, right? It makes you defensive, anxious, always on high alert. It's a state of constant self-protection. And that's why keeping secrets is so unbelievably exhausting. It takes constant management, this constant vigilance. I mean, if you are always worried about being found out, that energy isn't coming from a place of healthy boundaries. Plain and simple, that's fear. I love this quote because it just nails it. Real trust in a relationship isn't about having access to every password or reading every thought. It's about this deep, quiet belief that, hey, if something really matters, my partner is going to bring it to me. And secrecy is a direct attack on that fundamental belief. When you shut your partner out from important parts of your life, you're not just hiding info. You're making them feel excluded, unsafe, and honestly, unimportant. You're swapping out their feeling of security for this constant, nagging uncertainty. So how can you know for sure which side of the line are your own actions on? Well, luckily, there is a super simple but really powerful test you can use on yourself.
Just ask yourself this one question about whatever it is you're not sharing. If my partner knew about this, would it damage the trust between us? Or would it actually deepen their understanding of who I am?
And that answer, well, it tells you everything you need to know. If you know deep down in your gut that this information would hurt the trust you've built, then you're not protecting your privacy. You're actively managing a secret. So Maybe the best way to think about it is this final metaphor. Privacy creates healthy space in a relationship. Room for each of you to still be an individual. Secrecy, on the other hand, creates walls. It just blocks connection, it blocks light, and it definitely blocks intimacy. Because in the end, real intimacy isn't about knowing every single detail about a person. It's not about total access. It's about that quiet, confident feeling you get when you know that nothing truly important is being intentionally hidden from you. And that, right there, is a line worth protecting.